Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crash Bandicoot. At the end of the last episode, we actually finished up the very first island. We only have 2 more islands left to go, but we have a lot of stuff left to do. So we're going to get things started with the first level of Island 2, which is up the creek. Alright, so we have another creek level where we have, of course, water that we definitely do not want to fall into. So just want to kind of take a note of that. Like, I think I did that in the last episode. So we have, of course, more of these lovely little plants that are going to snap at us. Nice little visual there with the waterfall kind of there in the backdrop underneath of us as we are traveling across what is seemingly logs, it looks like, that are I guess just kind of located in this little creek area. And we're going to continue to use these leaves as platforms in order to get across here. Now, something I did not distinguish in the last episode is those purple plants, that the one we just jumped in behind us, and of course the monkey's going to screw me up. Like I was saying, we went ahead and actually grabbed a Tana emblem, but those purple plants that are going to, those like Venus flytraps looking things, those are going to be more on a timer, whereas the pink ones will only snap at you once you step foot onto them. So I can see that purple one right there. We just have to wait for the right time and we can get across with no problem at all if I don't screw it up in a way that's very unnecessary. So I'm going to go ahead and take an extra life out of that because, of course, we can get those in various boxes. And one thing to point out is you will see that if you have to restart a level or if you're going through it past the first time and you collect an extra life out of a box, you will actually not be able to collect it again. So just fair warning, if you're running short on lives and you think you can kind of kind of double up on those boxes, they'd only spawn the extra life once, and of course once you collect it, it does not respawn. So but yeah, so we're kind of getting back into things here, and I did actually want to clarify something very important actually for this Let's Play. Go ahead and hit that checkpoint. Oh, by the way, these leaves, this reminds me of the I know I'm kind of rambling already, but these leaves actually remind me of the leaf you take across in Banjo-Kazooie and Bubble Gloop Swamp. I just wanted to kind of point that out. That was something that just rang familiar to me in that sense. We actually want to go ahead and hit that switch, and then we actually can backtrack. And as you can see, there's actually 2 boxes down here. If we make a nice little safe jump, there's a dynamite one, and then we can use the bouncy box to spring back up here. So we'll go ahead and take care of those boxes. That way we can try to get this level done at 100%. But that is important to get those 2 boxes, just hitting that, of course, that metal box with the exclamation point on it. So, but something I wanted to clarify, and I actually forgot to in the first episode, is this was so me playing this and sitting down and recording this playthrough of this game is actually going to be the very first time I have completed this game at 100% completion. So I've only played this game, I haven't played this game like a lot of times. I've only owned it, the past few years. So we have another bonus level here. But yeah, this will be my first time ever completing it at 100%. And maybe if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you do that a long time ago? Or maybe try to do it a long time, well before you decided to record this and upload this to YouTube. And really the answer is just I just really never felt like it. And again, I really didn't spend a lot of time with this game. I've only played through it a handful of times. Like, honestly, I haven't played it and completed it like that much, like from the main game and beating the main story. And I never had a desire to 100% it at the time. Now I do, because I have grown kind of a large familiarity with the game at this point. And even though it doesn't look like it because of all the mistakes I've made already, I just feel like it's time to finally take this game on at 100%, and I'm actually going to be doing it as I'm recording it. So yay, YouTube gets to see me do this for the first time at 100%. So kind of a lot of pressure there, but we actually did perfect this level, so we are not actually required to come back here at a later time. So we were able to get the next white gem. Very nice there, and that's going to bump up our percentage points a little bit. And it looks like we are just about at a quarter officially, so not too bad. Just a little bit less than that, maybe 24%. But now it is time to take on the next boss, and it is Ripperoo. So we're going to save right beforehand, and I will meet you right back. All right, so after saving, because I just tend to like to do that before a big boss battle, it is now time to take on the next boss of the game, and it is going to be Ripperoo. Yeah, so this guy is a little cray-cray. So he's I guess like a kangaroo that has gone mental, it looks like. So he kind of looks like me on a Thursday. That was a horrible joke, but anyways, what we want to do here, as you can see, we have these giant TNT boxes. Simply enough, what you want to do is you actually want to jump on top of the box as it is actually moving towards Ripperoo. That way, if you time it just perfectly, it will explode once he decides to do his little hop over it. So he does kind of a similar type of pattern in each different phase. As you can see, we have to hit him 3 times. We already hit him once. He has 3 total hit points, not a lot, but he does move around quite a bit. So it can take a little bit of time and patience in order to get the timing on this. That way the giant TNT box will explode at the exact right moment. Definitely do not blame you if this is something that you struggle with at first, because it can be complicated, like I just showed by jumping in the water. Very nice. But yeah, this can be complicated. Okay, we went ahead and got him back down to 2 hit points left, right where we left off before I plunged and took a little bath there. I really shouldn't have. And it looks like, boom. All right. Okay, very nice. We got him a second time there. 1 more hit to go, and this guy is history. So we're gonna go ahead and see what we can do here. But yeah, like I was saying, I definitely do not blame anyone that's maybe playing this for the first time or just struggles with this fight in general, because the timing on this can be kind of funny, and it's overall not really that easy in my opinion. Like the concept itself is easy, but actually executing it and getting the timing right can take a lot of time. So but now it looks like he has finally plunged into the water, and he's going to go down the waterfall, or maybe just drown. That's pretty brutal and dark. Wow. But that's it for Ripperoo. So we have finally beaten him, and we are moving right along here. We're back out to the Wumpa Islands. It looks like we are now taking on Lost City. Sounds very mysterious, very weird, but it is now time to take it on. We finally defeated Ripperoo. Let's venture into the Lost City. This is going to be a level that might be a little bit annoying, so let's do it. So this is where I would personally say the game starts to actually heat up a little bit. So as you can see right off the bat, we have a little cubby area here where we can kind of jump inside. We have a nice little cool aesthetic with the temple type theme here in jungle. But as you can see, we have a difficult jump to make, and of course I would fail on the very first attempt. What we want to do here is just simply enough, you want to make that jump at the right time. That way you can run and jump right around this stack of metal boxes that we cannot break. Very nice. We finally got that. That is one of the trickiest jumps probably in the entire game, I would say. There's a lot of way more difficult levels than the one we're at now. But as far as jumps, that is one of the craziest ones. And for me, it's a lot easier now. I've done it a few times, but for a first-time person or someone, playing this for the very first time, and especially if you're not used to this type of platforming, which I wasn't at my first time, that's gonna be challenging for sure. So don't feel hopeless if you're one of those people that play the game for the first time recently, like I did. So, but as you can see, we are going to be kind of utilizing these little areas, kind of like it looks like a little temple, kind of like Indiana Jones style. So pretty cool. We're gonna kind of use these little spaces here inside of this giant stone wall to kind of really avoid those bats, but also there's some boxes that we're going to be able to find in there. I think there's actually a hidden one. I think it was actually in that one. You can hear it break or hit once you do, actually end up hitting it. But that box right there is actually going to be revealed from that hidden box, I do believe. I could be wrong, but I remember there was a certain time I went through this level and that box was still invisible. And I could not for the life of me figure out why it was. And then there's other attempts where it wasn't. Of course, I was able to hit that hidden box in that little cubby way. So that's something you want to definitely, wow, that was very close. You definitely want to look out for are hidden boxes. I didn't really talk a lot about this in the first episode, but there are several boxes, in my opinion, that are hidden, and you kind of have to work, do a little extra work to even locate them. Like at this spot in particular, I don't think there's a hidden box in there. But that last one we had where you had to basically jump on that top box and then go up and hit another box that's out of sight. Yeah, like that's stuff that definitely happens in this game. more than once. So it's a few times. It's at least a handful of times. I know it may not be several times like I'm making it out to be, but just fair warning, that does come up quite a bit. If you're looking to, 100% the game and hit every box and break it, every single box, that's something to be aware of. So, but now we are kind of navigating over these timed platforms, and are going to essentially pop in and out of this stone wall. And we'll kind of see that a lot more moving forward, especially after this level coming up very soon. This is going to be kind of the main theme of this island now. We're kind of more in like a temple. Oh wow, of course I would burn my ass there. All right, we're going to give this another go. But yeah, basically what I was saying is this is going to be kind of more of the environment we're going to be seeing from here on out, where it's more temple focused, where it's going to look a lot more epic and a lot more, something a little bit more than just the occasional wilderness, running around a mountain or a sandy beach or something. So, and then we're eventually going to get to Cortex's lab, of course. So that is going to be, one of the final areas. There's a bonus section over there, but we do not have all three of the emblems. So we'll hit that checkpoint and actually go back here. And I do believe that we will find what we need right over here. There's a bunch of boxes here. Want to take advantage of this, and there it is. We have all three of the nitrous brio emblems. We want to make sure we head back over to that portal, and we will take on the first of 2 bonus levels in this stage. So these guys can be kind of annoying. They lock onto you, those horned, like chameleon looking guys. Pretty annoying. I can't remember those called. What is that thing called? I can't remember. It's some kind of reptile, obviously. But now it's time to take on this next nitrous brio stage. This one is probably one of the hardest in my opinion, because you kind of have to move very quickly. For most of these bonus levels, you do have to move fairly fast with the ones that have all the TNT in them. But if you're not used to this, it can be a little bit challenging. So, but it looks like we did it. 21 boxes added to our collection. So let's go ahead and warp on out and continue with the stage. So we have about half of the boxes already, so not too bad. This is one level I do believe we can't finish right now. I could be wrong. I'm always wrong when I say it, and then when I don't say it, I'm still wrong. So we want to go ahead and avoid him. You can just take those guys out by simply jumping on him. I think you can spin attack, but I can't remember for sure. But this one right here is a little bit of a tricky one. You want to make sure he jumps on that stone platform first, and then you can jump on top of his head, like typical Crash style. That's how he does it. Taking out that bat's essential to getting through this, because those things can sneak up on you pretty quick, and that bat can kind of be in your way. So he just kind of is hanging there like I don't know what he's doing. He's a slacker bat. Like he's just doing his own thing as his buddies are just kind of flying through. So, so this is going to be the first instance of these things that are popping out of the wall. This can be very, very tricky if you're not used to this. My first time playing through this, I think I died almost like, 1,000 times at these. You just want to make sure they are both popping out at the same time, and then that's when you want to go. That's kind of the trick I've learned. There may be some of them that you can get otherwise, or get through past otherwise, but for the most part, you want to wait till they're all coming out at the same time. And another instance right there of using an enemy in order to break a box that is high up. So those are very easily missable. So if you happen to, destroy the enemy before you get to that box, you're probably going to have to go through the level again if you're looking to get to that 100% mark. So this is kind of a tricky part. You just want to kind of take your time through this. This level is very easy to rush through and mess up. I've always learned that this is kind of more of a kind of slow and steady wins the race type of method for getting through this one. So I try to take my time in this, unless it's, we're at a section where it makes sense just to keep moving. But now it's time to take on the Tana bonus level of the stage. So this one can be a little bit more complex. As you see, we have a ton of more boxes to break. This is going to be an interesting one because we have all these apple boxes that take a few hits to break. So you definitely do not want to spin into these, because that will mess up your entire rhythm and you'll most likely fall and die. Fortunately, and I actually did not mention this yet, in the bonus stages, it does not matter if you die, you still have another chance at completing the stage at 100%. If you die in the bonus levels, of course, redo them and get all the boxes, but it will not cost you your 100% for the entire level. So just keep that in mind. And that goes for the Nitrous Brio stages as well, or the bonus stages as well. All right, moving right along. So we're going to go ahead and jump on this thing. As you notice, those are very important to jump on the middle first, and then when you're getting ready to move, over to the next platform or jump over there, you want to make sure as soon as you jump on that very far left part, you jump immediately. So do not touch any of those other parts of that in the middle. So kind of hard to explain that, but I hope it made sense. I hope people understood what I was saying there. But now we got that guy out of our way. Looks like you can spin into them. We're going to move right along. Looks like we have some boxes that need to be revealed by a metal box right up there. Use this guy. Boom. And look at that. We did it. We got the first color gem. It is the green gem. First of 6 color gems. We 100%ed the stage and we are off. Man, this is going pretty well. So we now have our first color gem. As you may notice, they're a little bit different in shape. Makes them a little bit unique, but I love the color gems. They just look so cool. I don't know. Something about that. You know, you can't just have nothing but white gems. It's just a boringness. But anyways, we have now finally made it to a temple ruins. However, we now have the green gem, which means we can begin doing some backtracking. So join me all the way back at a very, very early level. You may remember it as Jungle Rollers. Not that one, right here. We can now go back here and 100% the level. So now that we have the green gem, we will actually be able to open up a gem path in this level. Let's hop right back into Jungle Rollers. All right, so it is now time to hop right back into Jungle Rollers. All right, so now that you have made it to this checkpoint right here, if you remember the first time we were here, there was an invisible gem path, and look at this. Don't these things look so cool? So yes, so this is the first of many gem paths we're going to be taking when we do our little backtracking. 3 extra lives right up here, not too bad. That's really all we needed. There's those 3 boxes we could not get before. So now we can actually go back through the rest of the stage, getting all the rest of the boxes and actually 100% this thing. I love this thing. It looks like freaking I just want to eat it. It looks like candy, like hard rock candy or something. It's like, it's like green. This looks cool. We have finally reached the end of the stage once again, but this time we have all of the boxes. Very nice. We get another white gem that we were not able to get before. So like I said, everything we passed up, we are coming back and getting at a later time. 30% complete. I won't argue with that. Now it is time to head back into Temple Ruins, the next level of the second island. Let's get it on. All right, so now we are actually inside of a temple. So this is where the Indiana Jones vibes really kind of set in here. So we have, of course, some boxes right here off the bat. We don't want to miss those. They're kind of not necessarily hidden, but they can be a little easily missed, I guess. And now we will find some platforms that are going to start to disappear. So yes, so we actually saw these way back. I think it was Jungle Rollers or one of the levels where those spinning wheels we were kind of jumping over. But you will have instances of platforms that will disappear or fall into the bottomless pit once you step onto them. You have maybe a couple of seconds and then those things are going to go flying downwards. So you want to make sure you make your way off of that thing within a, pretty reasonable amount of time. So you have like no time at all. So as soon as you get on that thing, just jump off of it. But now we have the introduction of these snake enemies. I think their only appearance is actually this level. But as you can see, we have some little spike traps that are popping in and out of these pillars. So we want to make sure that we kind of time these jumps a lot more precisely, obviously, because we not only have to make it onto the next platform, but we can't get stabbed in the neck by those freaking spears or whatever the hell those things are. As you can see, we have more bats that are going to fly right over our heads, trying to cause a little bit of a ruckus, but we're not going to allow it. It's because we're Crash Bandicoot. We are a mutated, upgraded Bandicoot, and we can do whatever the hell we want. So now we have some spiders kind of coming down at us. These guys are very easy to take down. Just jump right onto their giant bodies, and they will be squished. We have some more boxes we're going to take fine care of right here. Go ahead and collect some apples while we're at it, because again, once you get to 100 of those, you'll get some extra lives from those. And we're going to move right along. So yeah, we're advancing pretty quick here. Again, this game is not very long. There's just so much crap you have to collect, especially if you're going for that 100% completion. But take in that view right there. I love when he gets on those platforms that kind of spin around the whole place. You get a nice view of the temple. I love the fact that they have those like lit torches. And again, I did not play this game on the original, like the original PlayStation 1 version, so I can only imagine the people that did, and then they play this for the first time, and they're just taking in like all the enhanced graphics and all the upscaled, lovely, beautiful sights, and it's just amazing. I love it. I love what game design can do, especially when they remaster amazing games like this. But now we're gonna go ahead and maneuver around these kind of circling stone platforms there. That can be a little bit more tricky, but we'll kind of see something a little more challenging where they'll start to fall as well, and you have to kind of really learn how to time your jumps in this game for sure. But now we have enough of a coup and to be able to become invincible, and we're going to take take full advantage of that. Go ahead and break some boxes over here and avoid these spike or spear traps. And right here is where they start to be even more dicks in this game. So as you can see, there's a trail of apples that are kind of floating in midair. However, if you just slowly step on this invisible freaking trail that is just hiding here, you will notice that it is made up of boxes. So you have a couple of wooden boxes in here, but you have also metal boxes. So you want to make sure you don't break the wooden ones quite yet. At least I don't like to until I make my way back because it's easier. And you want to make sure your path is still visible and you don't fall opposite to your death, because then you'd have to restart, and who would want to do that? But that led us to a trail of more boxes that's sitting on this stone platform that's way over here. And now it is time to break the boxes that allowed us over there. So yeah, so kind of cool. They do this a few more times in the game where they'll have a few invisible paths where you kind of have to rely on the apples. And there's actually a level coming up very soon where that's actually required to, essentially progress through your main path in a certain level. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's basically a large bridge, and it's made up of nothing but invisible platforms, or platforms where you have to rely on very precise platforming. So, but anyways, I've kind of got off topic. We're going to focus on the level that we're in, and then we'll save that for another time. But now we get to step on one of my favorite parts right here. We've got an achievement. Look at this. It's freaking creepy in here. Earned 99 lives. So yeah, that tells you how many times I played this game. I guess I have never gotten to 99 extra lives. So you're on this adventure with me, and these Xbox achievements are going to prove that I'm not lying, and this is the first time I've gotten all these achievements on my time playing through this game. Just like when we hit 100%, I'm sure we're going to get something for that at the end. So now we have to make sure that we're timing our jumps, because these things are the ones I was talking about before. They're the platforms that are going to sink into the bottomless pit, and we just have to simply make sure that we don't go down with them. We get a ton of extra lives right here, even though I just hit the max. So yeah, 99 is going to be the max you can hold as far as extra lives. I quite simply don't understand why you would ever need more than that, or even that many alone, but for me, that's perfect. So just keep that in mind. If you're trying to get more, you can't go past 99. But that is going to reveal our white gem, because we got every box. We did not die. We're good to go. Take care of these bats, and we will make it to the end, where I screw it all up right at the last minute. I love it. All right, so a little part of me died inside because of that one screw up, but we did it anyways. So that is white gem number 7. Though no keys yet, but we will be seeing those actually very soon. So I'll talk about what those do once we kind of get there. But we will be collecting those on this island, I do believe, or at least one of them. All right, so we are now moving on to the road to nowhere, and I'm actually going to save that for the next episode because this is a very special level. So next time on Let's Play Crash Bandicoot, we are going to be taking the road to absolutely freaking nowhere. Until then, I will see you later.